What's up, guys? My name's Reckless Cutie. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the hero specs that have been announced for Dragonflight so far. Now, I will be open about this. The classes that have shown I have middling kind of experience with outside of Warrior here. I know we got Mountain Thane, Sandland. I might be able to look a bit harder at Death Knight. But I just wanted to take a look at some of these, check them out and stuff like that, you know, see what we're looking at. I've heard that they're kind of a little convoluted. I don't really know how this gets convoluted exactly, as I've mostly heard these are mainly a lot of just number tweaks, right? But I guess we'll find out. And here, these are just the examples. We start with the Death Knight, the Sandland for Unholy and Blood Death Knights. So first off, Vampiric Strike. Your Death Coil and Death Strike have a 10% chance to make your next Heart Strike, Scar Strike become Vampiric Strike. So, what is that just... Which one was Vampiric Strike? You know, I went and looked that up. It's at the bottom. Okay, there we go. There it is. Heals you for 3% of your maximum health and grants you essence of up to 7. That's actually... That's sick. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. Especially depending on how often you can keep that up. It's only a 10% chance, but the fact you can get 7.5% haste from that is actually crazy good. Even if haste is like their bottom stat, that's insanely good, because that's just free stats. Haste is one of those stats that are just kind of really good, but can be very easily outshined by the other stats. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, we got 2 here. Raise ally revives players at full health and grants an absorb shield. That's just kind of one of those, like, you'll probably like it in pugs, maybe, because, you know, people die. Maybe progression. Like, I guess it depends on your group, but in terms of just meta compatibility, I don't think you ever take newly turned. I don't think you do. It's one of those fixing bad plays, and if you're playing good, you're not going to need that. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same reason why tanks end up in this role where, for the most part, they don't build for defenses. Because if you mitigate the damage properly, you can just build for damage and help your team better. Death's Advance and Wraith Walk movement speed bonuses are increased by 10%. That'll be actually really good. I'm not going to lie. That's one of those subtle, unique things. But for positioning and shit, with Death Knights being one of the slowest fucking tanks out there, yeah, I'll take that. Oh, and it gets a fucking stampeding shout effect. That is actually amazing. Okay, we love to see that. Can you click on these, or do you just get to look at them? You just get to look at them. While you're in your Death and Decay, physical damage is increased and your chance to gain Vampiric Strike. Just flat good. I mean, you heal more. I guess it depends on how much damage you're going to be taking. If you got bad healers. Mythic Plus will probably love this, actually. I mean, because, you know, Mythic Plus, you want to pull as much as you can. AoE it down as quickly as you can. So, just being able to heal yourself more, and the fact that healers are a bit more, I guess in the high end of rating, they'll do a lot more damage, but more often than not, I'd imagine a lot of you guys, your healers are just tunneling healing, and if they don't got to heal, they're probably just chilling or doing some sort of support thing. You don't see a lot of healers taking the initiative to push their parse unless they're really sweaty. But this will be great for Mythic Plus. Your leech is increased by 3%, just good. While Lichborn is active, the leech increased by 100% and affects 4 nearby allies? That's the entire Mythic Plus fucking thing. How long does Lichborn last for? Oh. For 10 seconds? Dude, this talent, Vampiric Aura, insane. Absolutely. Like, in terms of Mythic Plus, you pop this, 100% leech, fucking, depending on the damage you do, which historically tanks have been okay at damage, 100% leech. I played Demon Hunter at the beginning of Dragonflight. I know how strong 100% leech can get. Like, I didn't need to be healed through that entire season. Yeah, my damage was middle of the pack, maybe higher end mid, but I could just eat mechanics if I wanted to. I didn't have to care. So that's insane. That could enable crazy pulls in Mythic Plus. I would actually love to see how that plays out in like the NDI or something like that. Bloody Fortitude. Icebound Fortitude reduces all damage you take by up to an additional 30% based on your missing health. It's not bad. Turns your Icebound Fortitude into a stronger oh shit button. But ultimately the thing is about damage reduction, and a lot of PvP players, you know, all 5 that are left, will know that if you're at a certain amount of health and you pop your defensive, unless your healer's already on you, it's too late. It doesn't matter. You know, you missed your window. You're still dying because it just doesn't matter. Killing enemies that grant honor or experience reduces the cooldown of Icebound Fortitude. That part's good. That part's really good. I could see, just with that little bit there, I can see that actually making a wave in PvP. Maybe even too much of a wave. Because Icebound Fortitude... No, actually, I don't think Icebound Fortitude does what I think it does. I think I'm wrong. Is it... If Icebound Fortitude is the one that makes you immune to stuns, then that's crazy. Not fucking Wrath Classic. Immunity to stun effects. 3-minute cooldown. Killing it by 3 seconds. That can actually be... Like, I remember the Delusions of Grandeur Demon Hunter build. That was insane, you know? So that'll be insane for PvP. I think Vampiric Aura is going to be lock-in for PvE. Bloody Fortitude, probably lock-in for PvP. But, we'll see. Infliction of Sorrow and Vampiric Strike damage. When Vampiric Strike damage an enemy, that's kind of weird, affected by Blood Plague or Virulent Plague, which, if you're playing the class right, it should always be up. It consumes the disease. Well, it might not always be up. Dealing 200% of the remaining damage. Not bad. When Gift of the Sandland is active, Vampiric Strike no longer consumes the disease, instead extends the duration and deals 20% of the remaining damage. That's just nice. Free passive damage, to be honest. You know, unless they change something, as far as I'm aware, both of these plagues are up most of the time. So this is just one of those things that, I mean, yeah, you can play around it if you really want to squeeze the most out of it, but that comes down to where the numbers are at and if it's worth doing that. No. Well, Vampiric Strike is also... You know, I went and looked that up. It's at the bottom. But Vampiric Strike seems to be kind of RNG based and not really a super great RNG base. Like, it looks like you got, so far, we only got at most a 15% chance to activate it. Not bad. Just a nice little passive. I mean, if you're going down this tree, which I don't know if they confirmed this or not. Maybe I should have looked this up before filming this. I don't know if they confirmed if we're getting all of these or if we do have to take a path. Honestly, I hope, because considering there's different options of this, I hope we just get all of these and then your choice is more so which of the two your spec has available to you. But I guess we'll see. Essence of the Blood Queen stacks 2 additional times, increases the damage of your Death Coil and Death Strike. Just purely good, to be honest. Not like amazing. I could be wrong. Like I said, I haven't played Death Knight for a while, but okay. Vampiric Strike has a chance to summon Blood Beast to attack your enemy. Each time a Blood Beast attacks, it stores a portion of the damage dealt, and when the Blood Beast dies, it explodes, dealing 50% of the damage, acclimated to nearby enemies and healing. Again, another thing that's just kind of passive, but cool. We'll take it. More healing, you know. When Death Knights definitely love their healing. Visceral Regeneration. Your Heart Strike and Scourge Strike have a 3% per stack of Essence of the Blood Queen to refund a rune. That's clutch. Refunding runes doubles the chance to refund a... That's just... Even a 3% chance, Vampiric Strike doubles the chance to refund it, so we're looking at 6% chance, maybe a little different, depending on math. Good, to be honest. Death Knights, rune regeneration. I'm sure any Death Knight can tell you rune regeneration is amazing, you know? So, Insight Terror. Heart Strike and Scourge Strike extend the duration of Essence of the Blood Queen by 0.5 seconds. Vampiric Strike increases the extension by 100%, so that'd be 1 second. I'm seeing a lot of things with this Essence of the Blood Queen. I don't know, does that ability actually... Don't mind me, dumb here. Does that ability exist currently, or is that something we're getting? Well, it exists in Wrath of the Lich King, for sure. So, it might be something they're getting back. Powers the caster, increasing all damage to... Oh, okay, so if that is what the ability does, don't know if it does, because this is just classic, and obviously it'll change. We can look at this Shadowlands. So maybe it is an active thing. Damage dealt. Basic effect, different numbers. Okay, that's fine. Not bad. Another choose. Sanguine Scent. Your Death Coil and Death Strike have a 15% chance to trigger Vampiric Strike when damage. It's to execute for Vampiric Strike. Guaranteed to critical strike. Fucking cool. Let's do it. Pact of the Sandland. You store 50% of all shadow damage dealt into the Blood Beast to explode for additional damage. Is that passive? That's just passive. That's just a flat upgrade to your beast and flat upgrade to your healing in general. What I'm looking at, from at least the gist I'm getting, top one's going to be damage. Bottom one's going to be healing. Top one, raid, maybe PvP. Bottom one, dungeons, also maybe PvP. If PvP exists by the time War Within comes around. They really got to do something about that. Gift of the Sandland. While Vampiric Blood or Dark Transformation is active, you gain Gift of the Sandland. Increases the effectiveness of your S by 100%, so it's just a double. Places your Heart Strike and Scourge Strike with... Oh, so you get a guaranteed way to do Vampiric Strike? That's good. That's good. We love to see that, to be honest. We love to see that. Keeper of the Grove. So we're going to talk about treants here. This is one of the ones they showed off at BlizzCon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Keeper of the Grove and Elunes Chosen, both shown off at BlizzCon, I'm pretty sure. Force of Nature grants 3 charges of Dream Burst. God, I don't know anything about druids right now. I know Feral. Any of the other specs, I don't know a whole lot. Okay. Force of Nature grants 3 charges of Dream Burst, causing your next Wrath or Starfire to explode the target, dealing nature damage to nearby enemies. Damage reduced above 5 targets. This might just be the Demon Hunter in me talking, to be honest. But I get why it exists, but just uncap the AoE, man. Don't let us do it, man. That's a whole, like, you love doing it. You love seeing high-level players run through mobs and pick up everything and just burst them down. And you got enough mechanics on the mobs to stop casual players that don't know what they're doing from doing that. So, just stop capping it. Come on. Let us do it. Just come on, give it to me. I want it. Grove Guardians cause your next targeted heal to create 2 dream petals near the target, healing up to 3 nearby allies. Stacks up to 3 charges. So, creates the dream petals near the target. Does that create like an area in which it heals, or is it something that you step on it and then it heals? I don't know. I guess we'll see. But, in general, I kind of hope it is the stepping one, because I, especially, playing Demon Hunter, I keep bringing that up. We got our shadowed orbs and trying to find that and stuff, and I know they made it a little easier for us to grab it, but I like the idea of things being put on the ground and you have to change your position based on what's on the ground. I like more dynamic things. That's what WoW does great, is dynamic kind of MMO combat, whereas Final Fantasy is more, I guess, the dance, the martial arts kata of MMO combat. WoW is like a fucking street fight. And that's what I like. I like just throwing some random shit. Throwing whatever, dude. Make it dynamic. Treants cast Moonfire and Ember. Okay, cool. Maximum mana increased by 5%. And maximum... Okay, cool. Your regrowth protects you, reducing damage you take by 8% while regrowth is on you. Okay. Cool. Power of Nature. Your Force of Nature treants no longer taunt and deal 20% increased damage. Okay, cool. Your Grove Guardians increase the healing of your When we got to the split, I was expecting something else, but once again. Okay. Cool. Durability of Nature. Treants have 50% increased health. Is the one going to be DPS and the other one going to be tank? Your Grove Guardians Nourish Swiftmans also apply a minor Cenarian ward that heals the target over 8 seconds next time they take damage. Cool. Casting Star Surge or Starfall increases the damage of your next Star Surge or Starfall by 10%, stacking 2 times. Casting another spell cancels this effect. It's like a Goodwill version of Monk's frickin' hit combo. Casting Regrowth, Wild Growth, or Swift Mend increases the healing in your next casting. Yeah, okay, so Druids got welfare hit combo. I mean, this one actually changes up the gameplay a little bit, so everything else was just kind of, like I said, okay, cool, yeah, give us it. But this one, yeah, sure, I like that one. Grove's Inspiration. Wrath and Starfire damage increased by 12%. Orbital Strike applies Stellar Flare for 20 seconds, and Primordial Arcanic Pulsar grants Celestial Alignments for the next 2 additional seconds. Reforestation grants Tree of Life for an additional 2 seconds. Like I said, I don't know enough about Druids to know really how that's going to affect it, if this is just going to be kind of a passive thing that you see, or if this is something more that you're going to play around. If it's something more that you play around, I like to see it. I like seeing things that kind of mix up gameplay a bit, you know? Bounteous Bloom. Force of Nature. Treants grant 3 additional power every second. I love to see that. That is a basic effect, but anything that ramps up your power bar, makes you quicker, makes you pumping harder, we love to see that. Oh, your Grove Guardian's healing increased by... Okay, cool. Force of Nature cooldown reduced by 10 seconds. Grove Guardian's cooldown reduced by 3 seconds. Cool, I guess. For Druid's sake, I hope the first one sims higher. Just flat out, I'll be honest. Power of the Dream. Force of Nature grants an additional stack of Dream Burst. Healing spells cast with Dream Surge generate an additional Dream Petal. Cenarian might increases spell damage and healing by additional 5%. Cool. Oh, I just started reading that one halfway through. All right. Control of the dream. Time elapsed while your major abilities are available to be used is subtracted from that ability's cooldown after the next time you use it up to... Time elapsed while your major abilities are available to be used is subtracted from that ability's cooldown after the next time you use it. Now, this one got a lot of okay cools. We'll be honest, a lot of okay cools. But that is a really cool fucking mechanic. That is... It kind of, instead of raises the skill ceiling, which I know is what a lot of people want to see, it lowers the skill floor and makes it a little easier to play. So, unless that second effect I haven't read yet is insane, this is probably going to be kind of just the newbie one to take. But that is insane, especially if druids like tight on their GCDs and stuff like that, being able to have that leeway to press something else and not really lose a whole lot from it. Just like it's a buffer space is all it is, you know? I like that. I like that a lot. Affects nature swiftness, incarnation of the tree. I like the idea of it. Seeing the spells that it affects, like Incarnation, Tree of Life, Force of Nature, Convoke the Spirits, I guess. My biggest thing is this one, unless the numbers are changed, never gets picked. Flat out. 5 seconds isn't enough to justify this. Right? Because these are your big cooldowns, so you think this gives you leeway to try and line things up if you don't want to, like, miss a window or something like that. But 5 seconds isn't gonna give you a ton of leeway there, you know? So, like, it's cool. It's cool. Like, I get it. But I'd like to see that bumped up, maybe even just to 10 seconds, so it's not, like, crazy. You can't hold the ability forever. You still gotta think about when you want to use it. But it allows you more control to line other things up. Which, in that case, actually, I was going to say that this is never taken. If that was the case, we could see that being picked because any raider, mythic player, any player understands the power of lining your cooldowns up. Well, I like the ideas presented here. I like the ideas. But every 5 regrowths you cast makes your next Wrath, Starfire, or Entangling Roots instant, increases the damage it deals by 100%. I like that Entangling Roots is included here, right? Just because you're never realistically going to want to press this. But if something is going wrong, say PvP, you really need to peel, there's some sort of mob that pats to the boss and maybe heals him or something and someone hasn't dealt with it and you need like that. That's cool. I like having that option. Every 5 starfalls next... Okay. I was going to say I like the choice. That one just makes it to where you're never not using Wrath or Starfire. Probably Starfire because Wrath is At least last time I played Boomkin, which is... Probably had a short stint somewhere in Shadowlands. I haven't done much in Dragonflight. But, okay. And, let's see their ultimate. Each Force of Nature Trance, each of your Force of Nature Trance increases the damage of your spells by 3% while active. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Elunes Chosen. Balance and Guardian. Those are very... Like, I guess you've seen Restoration and Balance together here with the damage or the heal. But Balance and Guardian, that's going to be an interesting combo. Fury of Elune. Fury of Elune now ends with a flash of energy blasting nearby enemies for astral damage. Cool. Full Moon now calls down 2 crescent moons that deal astral damage and generate 3 astral power. Cool. Lunar Beam now causes you to leech life equal to 10% of all damage dealt to enemies within the beam. Really cool. I like that one. We like to see it. Moonfire damage has a chance to call down a Fury of Elune to follow your target for 3 seconds. Doesn't say what the chance is, but pairing with that, we like to see it. Generates 18 astral power or 12 rage over its duration. Already said with the tree or with the Keeper of the Grove one, anything that gives you your special like resource, love to see it. More button pressing, more insanity. Each non-arcane ability you use increases the damage of your next damaging arcane ability by 2%, stacking up to 5 times. I'm not gonna lie, I could be wrong. I doubt this is gonna be one of those things where you want to stack it to 5. This is probably just gonna be one of those things where it's just free damage. You don't really pay attention to it. You rack it up. Maybe use it if you get to 5 and you don't want to overcap, but I don't know. I don't know enough about balance druids to say, but I'd imagine this is just going to be one of those things. Kind of like how Mortal Strike works for warriors right now. You don't ever hold Mortal Strike for all the buffs. If Mortal Strike is up, you press Mortal Strike. The buffs you get to Mortal Strike are like a little cherry on top. You know? And that's what I think this is going to be like. That one's broken. Like, Blizzard, you gotta tune that. Why was this revealed? Like, I get it's a work in progress and you're still working on these, but why are they revealed? Oh, we got one here. Enemies damaged by full moon, Fury of Elune, or lunar beam take 4% increased damage for you. Damage window, cool. Not a big fan of it being 6 seconds. I'm a demon hunter. We have a lot of 6-second windows to increase our damage. It's hectic. I won't lie, it's very, very hectic. Further increases the power of boundless moonlight. Okay. Fury of Elune, the flash of energy now generates 10 astral power and increases its damage by 50%. Fuck yeah, cool. Full moon, new moon, and half moon also call down 1 crescent moon and generates astral power. Cool, we love to see it. Reduces the cooldown of lunar beam by 12 seconds and increases duration. Overall, cool. This one can't really make a judgment because, like, more than half the tree is, I guess, just not revealed. We have pictures. Like, I can see an incarnation picture there. That's cool. That looks like Convoke the Spirits. I don't know which one that is, but that looks like a balance ability. Elunes Chosen. Overall, my thoughts. Kind of just seems like this one's just going to speed your gameplay up, which I'm cool with that, to be honest. Sometimes you don't need anything that adds a whole lot, you know? Sometimes you just want to go faster. Evoker, Chronowarden, Preservation, and Augmentation. Now, this is one I haven't played a whole lot since Augmentation was brought out. So I don't actually know how Augmentation plays. I got the gist of Preservation, and I got a pretty good feel for Devastation, because I leveled one. But Augmentation, that one's a bit of a mystery to me. Let's just see, do we have all of these? Yeah, we have all of these, cool. Living Flame is enhanced with Bronze Magic, repeating 50% of the damage or healing you dealt to the target in the last 5 seconds is arcane up to a fixed amount. Just a buff to Living Flame. Living Flame's cool. It's a fun button to press. Hover now warps you through time and space. Hover continues to allow... What is that? Just turn hover into a blink? What does that mean? I mean, can't mages blink while casting? Am I just wrong about that? But I think they can. Does this literally just turn hover into blink? Tip the scales. Overloads you with temporal energy, increasing your haste, movement speed, and cooldown recovery, ramping up to 40%. I don't know what tip the scales is, but looking at the picture, this makes me think of the augmentation buff. Which is weird. Does preservation get tip the scales? Like I said, Where's Evoker? Oh! Oh, this is just that one. Okay. Sure. Increasing your haste, movement speed, and cooldown recovery by 2%, ramping up to 40% over 20 seconds. I mean, you're still using tip the scales. Like, this is the one with 2 charges, isn't it? I'm pretty sure you get 2 charges of this. No? No, it's just a 2-minute cooldown. Either way, this is essentially just augmentations palm, really. So, I mean, it's cool. Like, up to 40%. 40% is a lot. I won't lie, 40% is a lot. That could be really good. Spirit Bloom heals for an additional 30%. Cool. Upheaval deals 30%. Cool. Dots and hots. Cool. Interdimensional phase. Warp reduces the... Hold on, does this... Hover now warps you through... Oh, yeah. Okay. Reduces damage taken by 30 seconds, starting high and reducing over 5 seconds. If I'm right and that just turns hover into blink, I mean, cool, I guess. Be sick for PvP. PvE, I don't see any, unless you're warping to soak something, I guess you can get some use out of that. Warp leaves a trail of motes of acceleration. Allies who, that's going to be, at least PvE, that's going to be the talent. The warp one might be good for PvP, but that one's, I guess they're warp, but... Interdimensional phase, probably PvP. Motes of acceleration, easy, PvE. We're getting a lot of stampeding roar effects. I'll be interesting to see what raiding looks like in War Within, because it kinda... We already have seen a slow increase of player speed over the years. Now we're getting a lot of kind of raid utility to increase that speed even further, whereas you had to be a little bit selective with your stampeding roars unless you had multiple druids. That's cool. One thing I do see is this. It's going to make Mythic Plus a lot more high-paced. Adding a lot of stampeding roars is going to make Mythic Plus very high-paced, which could lead to them making tighter timers, which at the high end is going to be great. At the low end is going to feel kind of iffy. Threads of Fate. Casting an Essence ability during Temporal Burst causes a nearby ally to gain a Thread of Fate for 15 seconds, granting them a chance to echo their damage and healing abilities, dealing 15. Cool. Like to see it. Just give us Welfare Multi-Strike from Warlords of Draenor. Sure. I think they already have something like that, don't they? For each damage over time effect from Upheaval, which you get from there, or Spirit Bloom, also get from there, up to 9% haste. I've already talked about. Haste is one of those things. No class hates haste. Right? There is not a class that is actively saying, I'm trying to lower my haste, unless they have too much of it and not enough of the other stats. Passive haste, always good. A buddy once told me he was really good at the game. In fact, it's so insanely good that he would take dumb non-meta builds and top charts with it. This guy was cracked, man. Like, he always said, a lot of classes don't like haste on gear, but almost every class likes haste buffs. And you see that with Bloodlust. Granted, Bloodlust is able to give you as much haste as you're probably going to see towards the end of an expansion in terms of stats, but careful contemplation. Your intellect stamina increased by 10%, but your cooldowns are increased by 10. Good ability in theory. Don't think that's going to see play. WoW is way too much on the stacking cooldowns and stuff like that. Don't think anybody takes this. Abilities with a 14-second or longer cooldown grant 10% intellect for 15 seconds. Defensive abilities grant 10% stamina for 15 seconds. Essence spells extend the durability. That one's going to see play. 100%. That, like I said, the one tries to take away from WoW's current meta of stacking all your abilities. The other one plays into it. Time convergence is just going to be better. I'll put $20 on it. Master of Destiny. Empower spells. Amplify all your active threads of fate, increasing their power by 100%. Does that make it to where it triggers more? Or does that make it to where when it does trigger, it's 30 instead of 15%? For 8 seconds, stacking up to 2. That's pretty good. Pretty good. We like to see that. I'm too dumb to say that word. I'll be honest. Prescience? Prescience has a 25% chance to not incur a cooldown. Echo has a 20% chance to not cost essence. Just cool. You like to see it. Those little procs that are cool. Each time you cast an Empower spell, unstable time magic reduces its cooldown by. Its cooldown does. So is this basically just telling you that all your Empower spells are losing 15% or 15-second cooldown? Is that just essentially what it is? I mean, cool. We love to see abilities come out quicker, but pretty basic. Empower sends up to 3 Chrono Flames to your targets. Chrono Flames have a small chance to grant you Essence Burst. Cool. We just like to see it. Chronowarden, kind of cool. Kind of cool. I like to see it. Hunter. Oh, Dark Ranger. This one's an anticipated one. You can't mess this one up, Blizzard. You can't mess this one up. This is a big one. You put a big name on this. Black Arrow. Is this literally just going to be the Sylvanas thing? I mean, that's cool. People like it, but active 30-second cooldown. Fire a black arrow into your target, causing it to take shadow damage for 2 seconds, or every 2 seconds for 16 seconds. It's a dot. Each time black arrows deals damage, you have a chance to reset the cooldown of aim. Okay, yeah, cool. Like I said, we love procs like that. Especially aim shot. Aim shot doesn't have a long cooldown, does it? $12 seconds. Okay, I guess you could like this. Yeah. Ranger's Finesse. Aim shot, rapid fire deal 15% increased damage. Barb shot and kill command deal 15% damage. This I like. I like rapid fire a lot, but one thing I will say is I was a PvPer during the time of rapid fire's heyday. Any PvPer during that time can tell you, rapid fire could global by itself. So, Dark Hounds. There we go. Each time black, you have a chance to manifest Undead Hound to charge your target and deal shadow damage. Passive, but really cool. Okay, you put Dark Ranger on the title, right? So this is perfect. This isn't like... There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, this doesn't fit really my class fantasy, but Dark Ranger, especially if you got all the like special Dark Ranger stuff that they gave out in Shadowlands, I think, that's going to be really cool, fit thematically. People like to see stuff like that. When you apply black arrow to a target, you gain the death blow or hunter's prey effect. What is that? Let's see. Let's look in here. That's a weapon. Aim shot has a 15% and rapid fire 20% chance to grant a charge of kill shot. Oh, okay, cool. Like to see it. What was the other one? Hunter's prey. Oh, it's just the Beast Mastery version. Like that. That's what is Warriors have it with their execute. I can't remember the name of it, but that's what that is. Pretty much. It was a legendary. It was baked in the class. It might be baked in the sudden death. No, sudden death is the Colossus Smash one, ain't it? Either way, you get the point. Dark Empowerment. When Black Arrow resets the cooldown of ability, gain 15 focus. You like going faster, I guess. Ooh, that's going to be good for leveling, to be honest. Or even dungeons. When a target affected by Black Arrow dies, the cooldown of Black Arrow is reduced by 12 seconds. That's almost half of it. You're going to have crazy uptime with that. The big problem I'm seeing with this, right? So far, we don't have a way to put Black Arrow on every target. So this is so far purely single target. Which I guess is thematically fitting with a Dark Ranger, but could be a blind spot there. You heal for 15% of all shadow damage dealt by you and your pets. Cool. Exhilaration grants you 3 seconds of survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest activates exhilaration at 50. So you just get a huge burst of healing, I think. Exhilaration is just the big heal. Survival of the fittest, I think that's your damage reduction, right? Yeah, it's just a wall. Wait, is it just a wall for your pets? Oh, it's you and your pet. Okay. Where was I? Here? Disengage will chain the closest target to the ground, causing them to move until they move 8 yards away. That's going to be great for PvP. I mean, you might see niche uses in PvE, but just flat out PvP talent, 100%. When True Shot or Call of the Wild is active, Black Arrow deals damage 50% faster. Does it take the duration 50% faster? It doesn't say it, so I don't think so. So I think it's every 2 seconds, so it just means you get a tick every second. Essentially. Cool. Especially with how many things can proc. Like to see it. When multi-shot hits a target affected by Black Arrow, a burst of shadow energy erupts, dealing moderate shadow damage to all enemies near the target. There's your AoE. There it is. That was what I was literally just saying. That's cool. That's alright. No way to put Black Arrow on multiple things, but at least a way to deal damage to everything. This effect can only occur every 6 seconds. And kind of gone. Beast Mastery, not too bad. Marksman has multi-shot, don't they? So, I mean, it's okay. All shadow damage you and your pets deal is increased by 10%. Just flat increase. Kill Shot has a 15% chance to generate a charge of aim shot or barbed shot when used on a target affected by... That's... Didn't we just have an effect like that? Reset the cooldown. Oh, a charge. Okay. So it can overlap. Not bad. When Black Arrow resets the cooldown of aim shot, a barrage of dark arrows strike your target. Increase the damage you and your pets deal by 10%. Oh. So essentially that's just an increase to your... It's a lot of passive damage and it's an increase to the free aim shot you just got. It's cool though. It's cool. Though, that one could be... That one could leave you in a spot where you're holding a lot of things waiting for this damage window. Hopefully it won't turn into that, but you could very easily run into the Warrior Colossus Smash problem, where there was that brief time where there was no way to reset Colossus Smash, and it was just a flat 45-second cooldown. So all Warriors did was did a bunch of damage on Colossus Smash and then did essentially nothing until it came back. Granted, this isn't a 45-second thing. This is a chance. You guys should just see how that plays out. Mage, Frostfire. The only thing I know about Frostfire here is I seen Liquid Max's video saying that this is so good. Frost and Fire mages. Okay, let's see. Frost, Fire, Mastery. Your damaging fire spells have a chance to grant 1 stack of fire. Okay, we're seeing the masteries down there. 1 stack of Fire Mastery and Frost stack of Frost Mastery. The thing about this is, unless they really incentivize using the other spells, I don't remember Fire and Frost really using spells outside of their respective types, except maybe Frostfire Bolt. Fire Mastery increase your haste, cool. But would have preferred if it was crit, but haste, cool. Frost Mastery increases your mastery. That's just good. Flat out, Frost likes their mastery. Imbued Warding. Blazing Barrier also casts an Ice Barrier at 25% effectiveness. If that affects this right here, could be cool. Probably, once again, mainly a PvP thing, because unless you're questing, you don't want to be getting hit. But Frost, Ice Barrier, also Blazing Barrier, 20. This also affects your Mass Barrier. I don't even know what Mass Barrier is. You melt slightly out of your Ice Block and Ice Cold, allowing you to move slowly during Ice Block and increase your movement speed over time. We'll see what that does, specifically in PvP. Historically, Ice Block it's your bubble, but it stops you, especially when they added the heal to it. Can trigger a blast wave when they end. I don't know how I'm gonna like this one in terms of PvP mostly. I mean, PvE, it's cool, I guess, if you find yourself in a shitty position, but PvP is the big thing here. Both of these are mainly PvP things, I think. Frostfire. Is that... I thought that was baseline. Wasn't it? Didn't they give that back in, like, Shadowlands or Dragonflight, whichever one it was, when people really got tired of, like, specs being the identity rather than the class? Replaces Frostbolt and Fireball. That makes it a little better. If it comes with all the combos and everything, like your fire combos with the frickin' heating up your Pyro Ball and stuff and all that can trigger from it, combos really well with that. Launches a bolt of Frostfire at the enemy, dealing Frostfire damage, slowing movement speed by 50% and causing additional Frostfire damage over 8 seconds. Cool. Frostfire Bolt guarantees us... Oh, it guarantees stacks of those? That's cool. Isn't this capped out? Yeah, 8? No problem. You like to see that. That basically guarantees you're getting both. And as I keep saying, just buffs to any stat is good. Unless, like, a stat is really, really bad and counterintuitive, you like buffs from stats. It's just a fact. Elemental Affinity. Fire. The cooldown of frost spells is reduced by 10%. The cooldown of fire spells is reduced by 30%. Are all the fire spells just higher cooldowns, or do they just... they just really botch that balance there? Last time I played Mage, I mostly played Fire and Arcane. So, Flame and Frost. Fire Cauterize resets the cooldown of your frost spells with a base cooldown shorter than 4 minutes when it activates. Cold Snap additionally resets the cooldown of your fire spells. That is actually so cool. Actually, I actually, so far, I'm really liking this. We're only on the second tier, and we're already seeing such amazing interweaving play with this. I don't even care about the numbers. The fact that this is going to be such a change to how you play both the Fire and Frost mages is going to be amazing. I ain't going to lie. I might have a mage alt just because this sounds cool shit. And the next icon is Meteor. I love that ability. Both Meteor, Comet Storm, I think it was the ice one. And what was the arcane one? It was back in Warlords when they brought out like the 3 kind of ultimate spells to cast. Loved all of those, alright? Comet Storm also calls down a Meteor. Oh, that is so cool. At 100% effectiveness, this is just gonna be a fucking chunk, dude. Meteor, 150%. That is gonna be so good, dude. So good. Both of those spells are AoE, dude. Mythic Plusers are eating good with mages. And you got Time Warp. I'm not gonna lie. Unless other classes get some insane stuff, mages in terms of like high-end Mythic Plus are gonna be an immediate lock-in. There's no shot. Even if these abilities are 10-minute cooldowns, you're talking being able to burst down a pack like that. This is gonna be so good. Severe temperatures. Casting frost and fire spells increases the damage of your next Frostfire bolt, stacking up to 5 times. Cool. Thermal conditioning. Frostfire bolt's cast time is reduced by 10%. It's 10% of 2. Isn't that drops you down to 1.8 second cast? Not terrible. Not terrible. Your frost and fire spells have a chance to trigger an additional bolt of Frostfire. Like it. Especially if it counts for the guaranteed stack. Like it. Dealing Frostfire damage, this effect generates Frostfire Mastery when activated. Yeah, cool. Like it. It's a passive thing, but like it. During that short time that multi-strike existed in Warlords of Draenor, that was a Frost Mage's like best stat, and oh my god, it looked so good. You turned into an ice turret. It was so good. I don't care. Like, that alone makes me want multi-strike back. Even if any other class doesn't care that much, I have thought about playing Elemental Shamans just because of the Elemental Overload and how much I love the effect of just whipping your spells at them. It's so good. Excess Frost. Fire reaching maximum stacks of Frost Mastery, causing your next Phoenix Flames to also cast Ice Nova. 200% effectiveness. Ice Nova, if I remember correctly, Ice Nova didn't do terrible damage. Okay, cool. When you consume excess frost, the cooldown of Meteor reduced by 5 seconds. Yes, dude, let us rain hell upon them. This is just gonna... Reaching maximum stacks of Frost Mastery causes your next flurry to also cast Ice Nova. Both of them are Ice Nova. I expected, like, Blast Wave for the Frost one, just to kind of fit with the theme, you know? When you consume excess frost, the cooldown of Comet Storm reduced by 5 seconds. Again, love it, love it. I know. Only one of these is going to be available. If you're Fire, you get Meteor. If you're Frost, you get Comet Storm. But please, Blizzard, please, give both of them to both specs. Please, for the love of... It would be so broken, but it'd be so good. Frost Fire Empowerment. Your Frost and Fire spells have a chance to activate Frostfire Empowerment, causing your next Frostfire bolt to always critical strike and explode for 80% of its damage to nearby enemies and be instant cast. Like it. It's just cool. Neat little proc. Excess Fire. Oh, wait. So this is going to be the fire equivalent of this, probably. Reaching maximum stacks of Fire Mastery causes Fire Blast to apply Living Bomb? That's not ice. That's not what I was expecting. Reduce the cooldown of Phoenix Flames by 10 seconds. You love that. You love that. 100%. You love that. That's great. That's fantastic. Reaching maximum stacks of Fire Mastery causes your next Ice Lance to apply Living Bomb. When this Living Bomb explodes, gain Brain Freeze. Isn't Brain Freeze? What is Brain Freeze? Brain Freeze is the Frost Flurry, ain't it? Yeah, cool. Also like it. Before I even read this, I want to say, after seeing this entire tree, this has got some hype to live up to. This better be, like, I'll be honest with you. I better release when I read this. Flash Freeze Burn. Frostfire Empowerment grants you maximum benefit of Frostfire Mastery and refreshes its duration. Cool. Activating Combustion or Icy Veins. Okay, so it wasn't as insane as I was hoping, but it's still really cool. Overall, Frostfire is so good. 100% so good. The best one of all of them that I've read so far. Hands down. All the other ones feel like little buffs to, like, kind of things you're already doing. Dark Ranger felt like it added a little bit of a play around the Black Arrow, which is cool. But this was just good. Love to see it. Paladin, Lightsmith, Holy and Protection Paladins. Why? Lightbringer exists. It's... Okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I can't even remember what all three paladins were. Let's see. I want to go back and look at that. Lightsmith, Herald of the Sun, Templar. Dog shit. Sorry, paladins, but absolute and utter dog shit. Templar's cool. Lightsmith, Herald of the Sun. Like, I get, like, the Tauren Paladin's whole thing is the fucking Sunwalkers, but Herald of the Sun, dude? Paladin. It's such an iconic D&D class. Every RPG has a form of a Paladin. Herald of the Sun? Really? Whatever. We'll look at it. We'll look at the Lightsmith. I'm a Lightsmith Paladin. Holy Armaments. I like the name of it. Will the light to coalesce and become manifest at a target location as a holy armament, which may be wielded... Hold up. I might have been wrong. They might be cooking. Let's let them cook. Alternates between Holy Bulwark and Sacred Weapon. Lasts 20 seconds after being cast. Max 2 charges. Do you get the 2 charges, or can only 2 people use it? While wielding a Holy Bulwark, gain an Absorb Shield. By the way, I 100% hope that this changes, like, the equipment you're holding on your character. I don't care. If I'm a Demon Hunter and I pick up Holy Bulwark, swap my glaive out with a light shield. I know it exists. I played Paladin in Shadowlands. I know you have the models for these light imbued weapons. Absorb shield for 15% of your maximum health and an additional 5% every 2 seconds, stacking up to 30%. Cool. While wielding a sacred weapon, your spells and abilities have a chance to deal additional holy damage or healing. I like it. I'm not going to lie. I 100% like it. It's very simple. The effect's not insane, but the biggest thing, like I said, the throwing it on the ground, having everyone run over there to equip these armaments you just put down, that is absolute... That is great. That's cool as hell. I might like this a bit more. Lightsmith, I'm sorry. I may have judged you too hard. Rite of Sanctification. Imbue your weapon with the power of the light, increasing your armor by 5% and your primary stat by 1%. Lasts 1 hour. Weapon imbue. Okay, if I stop and I think of it from the perspective of this is just an imbuement for, like, an enhancement shaman, but it's for your paladin. It's okay, I guess. Okay. Rite of Adjuration. Imbue your weapon with the power of light, increasing your stamina by 3%, causing your holy power spenders to sometimes unleash a burst of healing around the target. That one's just better. Primary stat's really good, don't get me wrong, but that is just better. If an ally picks up an armament, you also gain its benefits. If you pick up an armament, a nearby ally also gains its benefits. I like it. It's cool. Makes me feel like only one person is going to be picking these up. But I like it. Divine Guidance. For each holy power ability cast, your next consecration deals holy damage or healing split across all enemies up to a fixed total. Cool. Blessed Assurance. Casting a holy power spender increases the damage and healing of your next Crusader strike. Blessed Hammer or Hammer of the Righteousness. Cool. Love to see it, dude. 100% Crusader strike is okay. Blessed Hammer. Okay. Hammer of the Righteousness, though. 100% increase on that. That is going to feel so good when you smack with that. When an armament fades from you, the cooldown of Lay on Hands is reduced by 15 seconds. You gain Shining Light or Infusion of Light. What are those? I think I remember Infusion of Light. Isn't Infusion of Light in the game? Power. Okay, yeah, cool. What was the other one? Shining Light? Okay. It's just fun. It's cool. Gives you a little something when it fades. I like those things where you get like a nice meaty proc when an effect fades. Divine Inspiration. Your spells and abilities have a chance to manifest a holy armament nearby. Passive way to do that. Love to see it. Forewarning, the holy armament's cooldown. The cooldown of holy armaments is reduced by 20%. Does it tell you what the cooldown is? Yeah, I'm not seeing a cooldown, but you have 2 charges, so I mean, it's cool. Kind of like the random chance of the holy armament just dropping on the ground. You may see Forewarning be better just because it's a bit more predictable. You can use it at specific times rather than random times. Fear no evil. While wielding an armament, the duration of fear effects is reduced by 50%. A lot of PvE players are just going to think this is something nice, but for PvP players, this, like, breaks a warlock. If you're going up against a paladin, you don't want to be a warlock. 8-second fear turns into a 4-second fear. You just don't want to do it. Shadow Priest, don't want it. Psychic Creep, they don't want it. Enemies within 5 yards of Hammer of Justice target is slowed by 15%. Cool. Be great for, like, I know sometimes they'll have, like, giant packs of mobs moving towards an area that you need to stop. It'd be cool in that sense, but the effect of your active aura is increased by 33% on targets with your armaments. Valiance. Consuming Shining Light or Infusion of Light extends the duration of any active armaments by 3 seconds. Or reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds if none exist. Like that. Cool. Hammer and Anvil. Judgment critical strikes cause a shockwave around the target, dealing additional holy damage or healing at the target's location. The biggest thing I'm thinking of is, as a prop paladin, this could be really good. Because if you're just going to want to stack crit, to be honest. If you stack crit, you're gonna judgment and heal all the melee around you. It's gonna be great. And deal extra damage. Just pretty good. This is the icon for Avenging Wrath. So let's see how this goes. Avenging Wrath summons an additional sacred weapon, and during Avenging Wrath, your sacred weapon casts spells on your target and echoes the effects of your holy power abilities. Oh, you love to see it. Even if you've never played Paladin before, you know Avenging Wrath because it is iconic. The wings are insane. You want to be pumping while doing this, right? Good. I love it. Lightsmith, I was so hard on you for that name. But, oh my god. The only thing I hate is that this is Holy in Protection. My god, do I wish Rhett was here. If this had Rhett, oh, it would be so good. Especially with all the bonus healing and stuff, it would have been perfect, right? Because the thing that, especially when I played Paladin in Shadowlands, I was more of like the casual hardcore, where I didn't do high-end content, but I did kind of play, and I was kind of a sweat when I did play. It was so good. Even if I had to sacrifice my damage using things like, what is it? Your holy power heal. I can't remember the name of it. I can see the icon in my head, but I can't remember the name. But using that to Word of Glory. Using Word of Glory to basically save entire runs. feels so good. So adding all that passive healing onto Rhett would be so good. Just literally, this one right here, just change it out for Rhett. But I guess this makes more sense, because in the lore, most paladins are holy. Uther the Lightbringer was a holy paladin. They're a melee healer. A really cool concept. Protection paladins. In terms of RPGs, tanks are kind of just, they're the guys on the front lines. They're the ones leading the charge. Almost every RPG has your sword and board paladin leading the charge, you know? So, this thematically fits. I wish Rhett was on here, but I get it. And makes me really excited to see what the other ones are. maybe Herald of the Sun will come in swinging, right? I just clowned on Lightsmith. I clowned Herald of the Sun even harder. Maybe, I don't know. Herald of the Sun is just going to be good. Oracle. So, I'm just going to say Oracle immediately. This is like a person who like predicts the future and stuff like that. I don't know how they're going to intertwine this into gameplay, but I absolutely want them to. Divine the future. Yeah, that's what oracles do. And gain access to a spell that gives you an advantage against your fate. Just off that first line, I'm going to tell you right now. This is probably RNG in some capacity, which is fine. I like that. I'm a big fan of something like Astrologian from Final Fantasy. It's fine. I can get behind that. But this is just a lot of buzzwords to make you feel like an oracle, right? Increases your target's healing received by 25% for 10 seconds. Increases your target's magic damage dealt by 10%. Yeah. Okay. It is have a lot of buzzwords, but I don't hate this, to be honest. Right? I like the idea that you get a random buff and you have to choose who best to give it to. I know historically competitive players don't like this. To an extent, to the degree that I don't know if this makes it to the game in its current form. But I like this. I like you get insight. You're going to want to find your... It's very simple. Like, it's insight, magic damage, physical... how your highest physical damage. Healing, probably on the tank, or that demon hunter that keeps running into every single AoE possible, every beam, everything they can do. That you might put the healing one on them. Increases magic damage absorbed by Power Word Shield by 10%, and increases the healing done by Prayer of Mending by 10%. Cool. Increase the duration of Atonement by 1 second. Increase the duration of Renew by 3 seconds. Cool. Waste no time. Premonition causes your next Power Word, Radiance, Heal, or Prayer of Mending to be instant cast and cost 15% less mana. Love to see it. I like procs. Procs they give you the happy chemicals when they pop up. We love to see them. Well, I guess not everyone does. Some people don't like procs. Miraculous Recovery. It reduces the cooldown of Power Word life by 3 seconds and allows it to be used on targets allows it to be usable on targets by 50% health. Is Power Word life like a oh shit button? Okay, so it's essentially a heal execute. That's cool. We like those. We like having the oh shit buttons. Honestly, you probably go waste no time. But Miraculous Recovery, if you're playing with a really dog shit team, could see some play. Power Word Shield applies 1 stack of Prayer of Mending to your target. Prayer of Mending casts like when you cast. Okay. Prayer of Mending casts apply a Power Word Shield to the target at 20% effectiveness. Cool. Sure. Prompt Deliverance. Reduce the cooldown of Purify. That's your Dispel, isn't it? I mean, reducing the cooldown of a Dispel is cool. You like to see it. When an ally walks through your Angelic Feather, you are also granted 100% of its effect. That's cool. I like it. Pain Suppression reduces damage taken by an additional 10%. Guardian Angel lasts an additional 2 seconds. Okay, cool.
Your Google Home isn't set up yet. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
Grand Reveal. When your power word shield is fully absorbed or your prayer of mending heals, gain a stack of Grand Reveal. At 150 stacks, gain additional charge of prayer mending. 150 stacks? And your power word shield is fully absorbed in your prayer mending. Gain a stack of Grand. 100 in... I don't care how easy. 150 stacks? Additional. What is premonition? Okay. Oh, 150 stacks. That's got to be a placeholder, right? Because you think even if you have power word shield on everything, they on your whole team, 20-man mythic team, hell, we'll go even further. The third, 30, 40-man freaking full stack normal freaking flex group. Or your prayer mending heals. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Because prayer mending, if I remember correctly, it's a wave of healing. So if you hit multiple people, I guess it's cool. This is you're never getting this off in a dungeon. You're just not. Like I said, this has got to be a placeholder number. They can't. They got to be joshing us. Reduces the cooldown of premonition by 10 seconds. Neat. Premonition can now trigger the Brilliance and Urgency effects. Brilliance. Restore 5% of your target's maximum mana. Increase your target's haste by 12%. Is that just like a bonus thing here? Because I like that, to be honest. I don't think you ever... Well, no, actually, 12% haste is a lot. 5% maximum mana, that'll be nice. But urgency is probably going to be the thing that would make people take that. 12% haste for 12 seconds? Or for 10 seconds? That's a lot. That's a lot. I like that. That's cool. Like I said, it adds more diversity to that. You hit the button, you don't know exactly what you're getting, but once you do get it, you need to make the choice of who you're giving it to. I like that. Divine Providence. Increases the duration of your premonition effects by 2 seconds. What are they? 10 seconds? 12 seconds? You get like 1, 2, maybe if you're cracked 3 GCDs in that. Fate Bender. Premonition's effect is increased by 30% if the divine spell is different from the previous premonition. That's not bad. It's not bad at all, to be honest. It's cool. We like it. Clairvoyance. Premonition has a low chance to grant you clairvoyance. Clairvoyance grants your target and 2 nearby allies all the effects of premonition. All of them? I ain't gonna lie. I like it. Alright, this isn't gonna be like game changing. You're not gonna be like seeing this popping off a ton, right? Yeah, you're not gonna be seeing this popping off a ton. But when you do get this, oh my god, is it gonna feel so good. Oracle. I like it, actually. I like it a lot. I was shocked, to be honest. This is cool. If I wanted to play a healer, I might go for a priest, to be honest. I've never had an interest in playing a priest before. Like, Shadow was cool, Holy was cool. It's just one of those classes that I liked being in the game, but I was never going to play myself. This might change that. This is cool. Mountain Thane, Fury and Protection Warriors. That's a mix. I guess you had to, but... So, I know this one's based around Thunderclap, which is weird, because I don't even think Fury really uses Thunderclap, does it? Because Fury would rather Whirlwind to get the cleave stacks. I don't know. Might change gameplay. Damaging enemies with Thunderclap, Revenge, Raging Blow, or Execute has a 10% chance to strike one with a Lightning Bolt, dealing moderate lightning strikes. So you just start shocking people? I mean, cool. Yeah, whatever. 10%'s kind of low. But it's cool. Storm Strike? Am I missing something here? Hold on. That's the enhancement ability, isn't it? That's got to be wrong. That's got to be wrong. Storm Strike's in the Fury one, too. Storm Strike or nature damage... Storm Strike or nature damage your abilities deal is increased by 5%. Storm Strike damage ignores armor. So right off the bat, thinking about what this could be, unless they're getting an ability called Storm Strike. Storm Strike's an enhancement ability. So this has got to be something else. Until we know for sure that they are getting an ability that is literally the same name as the enhancement ability, I'm going to assume that this means each spec's primary move. Your Shield Slam, your not Mortal Strike, it's Fury and Protection. Shield Slam. So Shield Slam for that. For Fury? For Fury, probably Raging Blow, I think. Rampage. It's going to be Rampage. It's got to be, right? Okay. Thunderclap damage increased by 50%. Prot likes that a lot. Prot already has a lot of buffs to Thunderclap. Prot likes that. Storm Striker. Nature damage abilities deal a 5% chance, or increased by 5%. Storm Striking ignores armor. Yeah. The same effect. Unless. This is called Lightning Strikes. Storm Strike could be referring to this. Thunderclap increased by 50% and it generates 5 rage. So does it just generate flat 5 rage or is it 5 rage for every target it hits? Because, oh my god, Fury would love that. Improved Whirlwind and Meat Cleaver now improve Thunderclap as well as Whirlwind. I think Meat Cleaver is the one where Whirlwind makes all your abilities split, right? Improved Whirlwind makes it hit more targets, I'm pretty sure. Let's fact check these. Oh, no, this is the one. Is Meat Cleaver for Cleave, maybe? Cause your next 2 single target is straight. Yeah, okay. Okay, so where was I? Here? No. Where was I? Here. Okay. Improve Thunderclap as well as Whirlwind. Okay, so as far as I can tell, that just means Thunderclap's going to be part of your AoE rotation. Thunderclap has a marginal cooldown, so you'll probably Thunderclap, Whirlwind, use your ability. Like, it just makes you slot Thunderclap into it, which I mean is cool. Like, any warrior player, especially OG warrior players, likes Thunderclap. Thunderclap is an iconic ability. It's one of the first abilities you got back in Classic. You like Thunderclap, 100%. So cool. Yeah, like to see it. Lightning Strikes also deal low damage to enemies near their target. So okay, ground current, damage reduced. Just add passive effect to it. I like to see it. Shield Slime damage increased by 20%. Cool. Bloodthirst Rampant. Cool. Shield Slime and Bloodthirst have a 20% chance to grant you Thunderblast, stacking up to 2 charges. Thunderblast. Your next Thunderclap becomes a Thunderblast that deals Storm Strike damage. That they're saying Storm Strike damage makes me 100% certain that Lightning Strikes here is Storm Strikes. It's just... there's just not a lineup there. Okay, but cool. Storm Shield. Intervening a target grants them a shield for 5 seconds that absorbs magic damage equal to 3 times your armor. Could be really cool. Could be really, really cool. Stormbolt also hits 2 additional targets, stunning them for 2 seconds. Oh, yes. I love to see that. I love it. AoE stuns. Why not? Flashing Skies. Chance for lightning strikes to critically hit is increased by 5% and their critical damage increased by 10%. Crit's back, baby. Crit is back. We love crit. I don't think Fury was using a whole lot of crit. I think Arms might still be using crit, but I don't think Fury was running crit. Crit's back, baby. Lightning Strikes reduce the cooldown of Ravager. Cool. Like to see it. Ravager's a neat little ability. Steadfast is the peaks. Victory Rush increases your maximum health by 10% for 5 seconds. That's cool. I mean, alright, sure. Keep your feet on the ground. Thunderblast reduces the damage you take by 4% for 5 seconds. That's just going to be better. To be honest. Victory Rush, I mean, you might like that while leveling. But maybe in Mythic Plus. But to be honest, increasing your maximum health, I don't think it matters that much, does it? Maybe. Okay, actually for Prot, that might matter. I forgot what the ability was called, but they do have a percentage health heal, and if I'm right about that, that could make that ability a lot better than I'm saying. Gathering Clouds. Your attacks trigger lightning strikes 15% more often. I like it. Thorum's Might. Lightning strikes generate 3 rage. Revenge Raging. That's just going to be... Gathering Clouds is probably where you're going Prot. Thorum's Might is probably where you're going Fury. In fact, Revenge, Raging Blow, and Execute. The only one of those abilities Prot has is Execute. It makes me wonder if these choose ones are actually choose ones or if they swap based off of your spec. I might have to go up there and read and see if they mention anything about that. Because I was looking at this as if you choose, but have been doubling down on the theme, not focused on balancing out the tree. They don't say anything about that, but just off of looking at Mount Thane, it kind of looks like that's the case. Lightning strikes have a 20% chance to make your next 2 shield slams or bloodthirsts have no cooldown. Prot's gonna like it for shield slam. I don't know how much Fury's gonna care. Bloodthirst is kind of just there, to be honest. Casting Avatar grants you 2 charges of Thunder Blast and resets the cooldown of Thunderclap. While Avatar is not active, lightning strikes have a 10% chance to grant you Avatar for 4 seconds. Love to see it. Thunder Blast. Your next Thunderclap becomes a Thunder Blast that deals Storm Strike damage. Cool. I like it. 100%. Mount Thane seems cool. I don't know if I would personally spec into it, unless it's, like, cracked. But I like it. It's cool for people who like it. A lot of really interesting stuff in there. It essentially is just a lot of mumbo-jumbo that, for at least Fury, means you're going to be pressing Thunderclap. And for Prot Warriors, you were already pressing Thunderclap. So, cool. So, overall, with all the hero talent trees that we have seen, I'm excited to see more, to be honest. I'm really, really excited, to be honest. Like, Dark Ranger, it's cool. It's cool. I might actually make a sequel video to this. Maybe I'll wait until they're all revealed, and then I'll do like a tier list on what I think of these. You know, Sandland, cool, like it. Keeper of the Grove, I don't hate it. Elunes Chosen, I don't hate it. Chronowarden, I don't hate it. Dark Ranger, so good, so good. Frostfire, make love to me. Simple as that. This was so good. Like, I don't know if there's gonna be any other ones that top this. This is so good. More like this, please. I don't care if this is convoluted. This is amazing. If anything, a mage being convoluted makes sense, you know? Mages have to, like, train for years to get to that point. So I like this. It's cool. Lightsmith, so good. So good. Is it going to be, like, game-changing in terms of meta? I don't think so. But its idea, so cool. So good. Oracle, so good. So good. Again, not only do I not think this is going to be game-changing and change the meta, I think this is going to actively not make it to the meta. Like, at all. You know? Well, this is cool. We dig it. We dig it. I like the idea. Really thematic. Adds more support. If you're one of those people who's like, we didn't ask for support in the game, suck a dick. Mountain Thane. She's just cool. Zip zop zoobity bop. What more can you say about it? It's cool. Alright, so that was kind of my overview. Well, I'll check back in with more news or anything like that. Maybe, whatever. Check out some other videos that I make from here. This is going to be my first one, but I hope you guys enjoyed.